How you doing, YouTube? Matt, Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of Haze Boyz time in the form of Ybel Brewing Haze Boyz. Yeah, I've actually had a couple of Ybel beers. A friend at the brewery sent me a couple crowlers not too long ago. Actually, it was probably like a year and a half ago, to be perfectly honest with you. And they really dug what I had. But they're, you know, kind of out there in the middle of nowhere in Florida, Fort Myers, to be exact. And I haven't had anything since. But I actually went to record a podcast with a friend of mine, Bert. He actually runs Haze Boyz. It's a kind of like a YouTube tongue-in-cheek kind of shit-posting troll group, which, you know, me and my massive troll reviews I'm quite a fan of. And he was actually down there. Or no, it was somebody, he knew somebody that was close to them, and they released it, and he had them send it up to him. Anyway, he ended up, at the podcast we were recording, he ended up giving me a can. He's like, I assumed you'd want to review this. So thank you very much. Man, go check out Haze Boyz. It's, instead of B-O-Y-Z, it's B-O-I-Z on the Instagrams. They might not be everybody's cup of tea, but, you know, they keep stuff a little bit, what's the word I want to say? Light. And not douchey. There's a lot of pretension and a lot of douchebaggery, and they tend to call people out on that, so I kind of dig it. Anyway, beer. It says Haze Boyz here, Ybel Brewing. There's no date in the can, and it is a New England style wheat IPA with Galaxy and Equinox hops, 7.4% alcohol by volume, done and done. And it looks like they have a couple of self-proclaimed Haze Boyz on there. So, yeah, let's crack her open and see what she's got. It was all right, you know, a little bit of three dudes just taking a picture and going on a beer can. What are you gonna do? I have semi-proper glassware along with the beer. Bird ended up giving me a nice little Haze Boyz Trolling Company glass to go with it. I had to use it. So, I mean, what do we have here? It's a little bit tiny, but you can still kind of glean what we're talking about. You're talking about a big, rich, hazy kind of IPA, you know? Big haziness. Got that soft kind of orange core to it, a little bit more kind of milky, opaque on the edges. Definitely looks more wheat beer than anything else. And, you know, pinky finger, just maybe off-white had the rockiness to it. So you can get a nose on her. It smells actually pretty fucking nice. Big, robust, almost like a marrying of oats and wheat in there. Big oat character, big wheat character, a nice sweetness to it. Definitely coming off in a tropical fruit variety. It actually comes off in like pretty much every bit and piece, and comes off pretty much equal parts. There's a nice citrus portion to show, a little bit pithy varietiness, but not too crazy. You get a nice kind of rich, kind of peachy, kind of nectarine kind of vibe from it, and that stone fruit sort of things, and then you get a nice soft tropical fruit. Yeah, across the board, nice kind of malt component, albeit mostly wheat and oats, and then you get that nice kind of across the board fruit juiciness. Let's dive in. Cheers. Has a nice bittering to it too. Big, bold bittering component. Not necessarily leaning in any particular direction. If anything, I would call it dank, but that's be much of a stretch. Kind of a generic green hop pellet bittering, along with that nice soft creamy mouthfeel, and that kind of running the gamut of that fruit juiciness, equal parts across the board. But it definitely leans more bittering than you thought it would on the nose. But it has this big, huge, grainy component to it. That wheat notes come through, and I kind of dig it. I mean, most people might think it might be a little bit too malty for them, but I dig it. And I like that soft greenness, albeit it being a bit generic. Like I said, if anything, it's more of kind of hop pellet green, which kind of I dig. And yeah, quite nice actually. Probably one of the better kind of down Florida way, hazier-ish kind of beers. There's a lot of ones that are okay down that way, but just don't really turn me on. This one's quite nice. Not too shabby. That's it. Done and done. That's all there is to it. The biggest thing I would say is the way that kind of hop bittering comes off. I could see it being a little bit too green, a little bit too astringent for some people. It kind of leans in a positive direction for me, but I could see how that could be a little bit off-putting for some people, but I dig it. Let's talk about it. It's one of the better hazy IPAs I've had as of late. Well, on the outside looking in, just because I've had so many good ones. Is it one of the better ones I've had from Florida? Yes. I mean, there's some people really doing it well down there. Calusa, the Southern Swells, but there's some that are misses for me. This one would be more hit than miss, so definitely worth picking up if you're down that way. Value and availability, no idea. It's Florida, and it was given to me, and leave you with if you like what we like. If you like the big hazy New England style IPAs, but a little bit more of a grainy malty component, not necessarily in your old school sweetened crystal malt kind of realm. Talking about that grainy weediness, a little bit of oatiness. If you like that along with your bittering component, then you'll dig it because it's tasty stuff. Fuck yeah. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did anywhere in between down there, you know, you can leave comments. You can talk about the beer. You can talk about December 23rd. Whatever you want to talk about, you can talk about. If you want to check me out doing social media stuff, you can check me out at Massive Beers on the Instagrams and all that stuff. Beer Massive doing the whole podcasting stuff. Like I said, by the time I post this, the following Wednesday, you'll probably see the podcast with these guys. Like I said, it's me, Bert, a couple other guys, Mike and Greg, I think, and I forget names on the spot, but it's not so much, we talk about the kind of trolling group and all the things they do at Haze Boyz, but it's more kind of talking about the state of beer from a bunch of beer geek kind of people. It's probably going to turn into something I do semi-regularly with them, so maybe once a month kind of sit around, do the round table stuff that I do, but just bring a little different perspective from kind of North Jersey into things where I live now. So go check that out. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're drinking a nice hazy beer right now, and hope to see you next time. Cheers.